Thanks very much, Angus. Well, Johnny Rea here had quite a battle there with Michael Laverty in race 1. Johnny, you've had a few changes to your bike this weekend.
Yeah, we got stuck in a rut in qualifying too, and we pulled ourselves out and had a good race 1. It's the best we could have hoped for, but now we want to try and challenge for that podium now.
How are you feeling about your bike? Is the setup exactly where you want it to be, or is there still quite a lot of work to do?
The Red Bull Honda's been working really, really well all weekend. It's basically myself that dug us into the hole, and luckily we put a good qualifying tyre on and made the best out of a bad situation to put us on the second row. So yeah, a little bit of my fault. The bike's performing awesome, so it's just about getting out there now and having some fun.
Okay, thanks very much, Johnny. Come back with me to Michael Laverty, who, as I was saying, had quite a battle there with Johnny Rea. Michael, you've had a tough weekend as well. I understand yesterday you were telling me you blew one of your engines up.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a nightmare this weekend. I've lost 3 engines, and we're riding on an 05 engine today, so we're struggling a bit for speed. But top 5 in the first race was happy with 5th. But I think had it been on the #1 bike, I could have challenged Jonathan for 4th. But it's been a tough weekend, and the team have had their work cut out getting the bikes back together. So thanks to them, and hopefully I can produce another decent result in this race.
Thanks, Michael. Good to see him still smiling. Over here we've got John Kirkham. Can I just squeeze out the way? Lovely model there. John, you're having a fantastic weekend, aren't you? I mean, this is such an opportunity for you.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. I got an excellent start in the first race. I was up there in about 8th or 9th with James Haydon. And I just had the most unfortunate off with the front end of the bike at Corhams, so it's a bit disappointed, but we'll have to see what we can do in this one.
But the opportunity for you to be riding with Rizzler.
Oh yeah, Rizzler Suzuki, they've given me the best opportunity ever to have a go on the bike. Obviously it's unfortunate that Shaky knocked himself out, but I'll do the best I can.
Okay, thanks, John. Just got to quickly sneak over here. Do you remember Simon Andrews? He's riding a Super Sport on an R6. Now he's been riding an R1 this weekend, and obviously you had a bit of an off. It's a shame that you can't get back on the bike, but it's been an interesting weekend for you as well.
Yeah, we came here and my main goal was to come in the top 20. Then all of a sudden we're 19th, and then next practice we're like 10th, and then all of a sudden I'm second behind just in front of Kyo. So, and then qualifying we got bumped down to 9th. So it's been an incredible weekend. Couldn't have asked for any better results.
Are we going to see you at Knock Hill?
I don't know. Jenton's a small team, it's a privateer team, and they've got enough money to do this round, and that's it. You know, if they can get a sponsor for the rest of the season, then hopefully I'll be on it for the rest of the year.
Okay, thanks, and very good luck for the next round.
We've got 30 machines lining up there. Number 48 will be starting from pit lane, and number 48, Nick Med. Nick Med retired in the early stages. There he is in pit lane. Nick Med will be starting from pit lane, hoping to do a little bit better this time round. Race 2 then, round 7 of the Bennett's British Superbike Championship here at Snetterton, and this time Leon Haslam knows nothing less than the victory will do for him. But already Ryuichi Kiyonari, number 2 on the HM Plant Honda, into the lead. Dropping into 3rd though, it's Tommy Hill from the front row. The number 8 Virgin Mobile Yamaha, Haslam going for an early break on Kiyonari. Underneath him he goes round Sears and away now down the back straight. Look at the speed of that Honda.
Yeah, that's quick, and the other quick Honda is Jonathan Rea then on the Red Bull Honda in 4th now. He forced his way clean.
Underneath goes Haslam on the brakes again. He knows he's got to do it by bravery and downright hard riding this time if he's going to get the young Japanese behind him. We've spoken before about Kiyonari, number 2, how he is less fond of mixing it than he is of running at the front. But race leader Leon Haslam pushing James too hard in the early stages?
I don't think so. He'll know exactly what he can do. He's not a rider who crashes, and for me, this is what he has to do. He's got to put Kiyonari in the bottom, and that's Lavilla getting definitely the rough end of the stick there. He got forced wide by Jonathan Rea on lap 1, and then he's just been thrown completely offline by Michael Laverty as well.
Well, Gregorio Lavilla, number 1, is way down there in 7th place at the moment. There he is, Sierra's leader. 58 points, his championship lead. We've said so often that at the midpoint of the season anything can happen. Lavilla himself has said Michael Rutter had this sort of championship lead last year. Look what happened. But now look at Johnny Rea, Jonathan Rea on the back of Tommy Hill.
Look how fast that Honda was compared to the Virgin Yamaha down the back straight. Clean road straight past him. That's the kind of power you needed at Snetterton.
But Tommy Hill, he's not giving up. He's cutting back on the inside Back into third goes the Virgin Mobile. We have got a race and a half on our hands now. Haslam, number 91, Airwaves Ducati, running up the front. Ryuichi Kiyonari, Tommy Hill, Johnny Rea, the young Ulsterman, number 65, Jonathan Rea, mixing it nip and tuck with the guy from the southern half of England, down there on the Sussex coast almost. Tommy Hill, he's in third place. Michael Rutter, side by side with Lavilla, the Ducati, climbing all over the back.
Yeah, and I was actually wrong. It wasn't Laverty, it was his teammate, his Stowbat on the teammate, Michael Rutter, that forced his way, uncharacteristically forced his way under Lavilla on the last lap.
Well, the race splitting up into pairs. We've got Haslam Kiyonari, the first pair. Then we've got Hill and Johnny Rea, the young lions, at each other. James Haydon looking strong as well. The Rizla Suzukis are right in the back of your picture. There's Haydon, the leading Rizla Suzuki. Michael Laverty having a look at him. Michael Rutter's now lost out to Lavilla. Lavilla has moved up into 5th place, and he will be acutely aware that his points lead is being eroded.
Yeah, that's right, and Haslam's doing exactly the right thing. This is the way to put Kiyonari under pressure. I know it's not the pressure from behind, but certainly, mentally, Kiyonari likes to be out front. He doesn't like to be sat chasing like he is just now.
Well, what Leon Haslam wants to do, and he will be dreading his Ducati teammate Gregorio Lavilla winding him in, but he certainly needs Lavilla to get past Johnny Rea and up amongst Kiyonari to slow the HM Plant rider down, or at least beat him up a little bit. But on 25 points now, Haslam, he is well overdue a victory. We are on lap 4 of 21, a long, long way to go. And James Whittam, you are quite right. This race is being run at a phenomenal pace.
Yeah, it is. This is what we've come to expect this year. They've actually in practice taken well over a second off the lap record, and in the first race on race tyres, not qualifiers, on race tyres taken over half a second.
There it is, another lap record. Kiyonari has dipped into the 4s. He's really, really flying here now on the back of Haslam.
Yeah, I thought this might happen. I just think conditions are just slightly better for faster lap times than they were in race 1.
104.868, a new lap record for the number 2 HM Plant Honda rider. Oh, a gasp of breath.
I actually don't know who that is.
Well,
Gareth Glynn, that was.
Gareth Glynn, the former Virgin Mobile Cup competitor, out on the grass. Kiyonari, I have to say, out of due respect to the Airwaves Ducati rider Leon Haslam, Ryuichi Kiyonari is looking, James, the more composed of the two.
He is, and he did in race 1, although he's a little bit loose going into the corners. It looks like coming out of the corners he gets a power on early, and he just looks to have that extra bit of speed with the Honda over the Ducati.
Well, what Haslam has to hope now is that Lavilla can wind in. Lavilla then is still struggling to get past. He's got to get past Tommy Hill. He's got to get past Jonathan Rea before he can even think about challenging for the race win. Gregorio Lavilla does appear, from his first race performance, to be slightly, I won't say outclassed because that's a ridiculous overstatement, but he doesn't seem to have the edge that the other two guys have.
He doesn't, no, he'd be the first to admit, but he doesn't actually like it so much around this Snetterton circuit. You get circuits you like, you get circuits you don't like, and I think he would admit himself this isn't his favourite circuit. But to say he can possibly challenge for winning this race with these two at the front is like, well, put it this way, where he is now is like being 2-0 down at half-time.
Ron Haslam, the legendary Ron Haslam, father of the number 91 Airwaves Ducati youngster, I say youngster, just 22 years of age, Leon Haslam, searching for that elusive win. These two have set such a blistering pace. They are 3, nearly 4 seconds clear of the 4th place man, Jonathan Rea, on the Red Bull Honda, and they're running away with it. But Haslam has to maintain this pace race distance. He's superbly fit. Kiyo's as close as he's ever been. Jonathan Rea riding the wheels off. Tommy Hill, number 8 Virgin Mobile Yamaha. Well, come on, I'm going to put a pound on the table. This is looking as though Kiyo's lining him up.
Yeah, he does to me, but I'd still put my 10 bob on the man there in front, 91, Leon Haslam. He's overdue a win. I think he'll just be prepared to try that little bit harder than Kiyo if it came to the stick and lift on the last lap.
10 bob to decimalisation past you, Ryuichi. Here we go. 91, Leon Haslam on lap 6, 5 completed, and here we go. Out of the slipstream goes the HM Plant Honda up the inside, approaching Riches, but Haslam is so brave on the brakes.
Yeah, he's brave on the brakes, and for me, his mid-corner speed's actually better than Kiyonari's. But, oh, Kiyonari with a back end in the air going into Sears, but this is from this point on is where, for me, Kiyonari gets the drop on him. He gets the power on smoothly. The Honda just looks to have that little bit of power over the Ducati, look.
It winds him in, he's in the slipstream now, he's up the inside, drafting past Leon Haslam, but Leon Haslam again, late braking, carries him into the S's, flicking through the S's, 120 miles an hour the entry point. The right-hander then here, second gear, 65 miles an hour up towards the bomb hole, and all the way round here, holding third gear into Coram.
Yeah, this is Coram's, mid-corner at Coram's, 120 miles an hour, third or fourth gear, depending on what you're running, possibly the Ducati third, definitely the Honda fourth, and then right back to first gear for both bikes, and that's the chicane at Russell's. That's the slowest corner on the track, about 70 miles an hour.
Over the line again they go, up through the gearbox. Leon Haslam very, very aware of that screaming Honda Fireblade behind him, the HRC full factory prepared Japanese entry for Ryuichi Kiyonari.
Yeah, you just said it there. Actually, Haslam will be able to hear the bike behind. Oh, that is Lavilla being put way wide by Jonathan Rea, who just missed his braking point a little bit. He's struggling, Lavilla, he's struggling. And if he is going to catch the two leaders, Kiyonari and Haslam, he's going to have to make his move fairly soon.
Well, he's past Hill, Lavilla in fourth now. This still the race leader, Leon Haslam, number 91. This is the best chance that he has that I've seen this season, and obviously that goes for you as well if you've all been watching it, that he has of bringing that bike home to a win, and if he does, it'll be his first win.
Yeah, I think that Haslam will be prepared to stick his neck out a little bit more than Kiyonari to win, but what I do think is that Kiyonari's got a slight machine power advantage, and that round Snetterton could be the telling thing.
Also what Haslam, and you heard in his interview, he said, I've eaten a little bit into Greg's lead. The Airways Ducati camp there absolutely riveted to the monitor. You heard him say that he's eaten into Lavilla's lead. Well, he'll eat into it significantly if Lavilla can't do any more than fourth.
Now that's true. I think Lavilla is possibly going to finish third. I think he's going to struggle to do anything about Kiyonari or Haslam.
Well, he'll pull back 11 points if things stay the way they are, but this is the battle for third place. Number 65, the young Ulsterman, Jonathan Rea, and there Kiyo taking another look again on lap 9 underneath. The Airways Ducati of Lavilla, number 1, lining up Jonathan Rea. Tommy Hill in 5th place has gone with them, the number 8 Virgin Mobile Yamaha rider. He has stayed very much in touch from his front row start, and Haslam is trying and absolutely riding out of his leathers.
Yeah, but these front two are lapping consistently quicker than the people behind, so there's no way for my money that Lavilla's going to be able to do anything about Kiyonari or Haslam.
Well, they're the only two riders in the 1 minute 4 second bracket. You saw the record go up for Kiyonari there. He set the new lap record, or the latest lap record, and that was set on lap 3, 104.868. Number 16 out of the running, Billy McConnell. So Tommy Hill's Virgin Mobile teammate, the other young Australian who graduated from the Virgin Mobile Cup, is out of the race.
Onto the longest straight in the country. It's about 3/4 of a mile. Even on these 200 horsepower monsters, it still feels a long piece of tarmac. Seems to me like Kiyonari could just be biding his time and sitting behind Haslam here. And he's certainly trying to put him under pressure, and you try and force the other rider into making a mistake under pressure, and I think that's Lavilla through on... Yep.
It is. Yep. Lavilla up to third. Gregorio Lavilla past Jonathan Rea. There it is, the number 1 Airways Ducati now in third. Tommy Hill now taking a really fast sweep down out of Coram down towards Russell's. Tommy Hill now on the back of Jonathan Rea. The Yamaha is very, very quick here. That's why he was on the front row. Now we're going to see if Lavilla can eat into, with clear tarmac ahead of him. Talk us through this, Jim.
Yeah, this is a pass. This is Greg Lavilla on Jonathan Rea. He's gone around the outside at the end of the straight and just basically blocked past him into the chicane. Now, yeah, that's hard, but I don't know if it's fair or not. I guess lead the championship, we've got to say it's fair.
Well, he's protecting his championship lead, and he was getting a little bit frustrated sitting behind the young Honda rider, just as I suspect Kiyonari is getting a little bit frustrated behind Leon Haslam, but he is cool, calm and collected.
I don't think he's getting frustrated. I think Kiyonari's just sat there waiting for something either to happen to Haslam or his bike, or wait for the last couple of laps and have a go. That's I think Kiyonari's just sat pretty at the minute.
Well, we're exactly half race distance, halfway round lap 11 of 21, so we've got all this to do over again, if you'll pardon the expression. But Kiyonari is riding so hard. He said, you heard him at the end of race 1 in his interview on the podium, he's thrilled with the way the bike's going, he's thrilled with the way the team are operating. He's had that little sojourn in Japan, and I think somebody put their arm around him, gave him a bit of a cuddle, certainly sorted his head out.
Yeah, but as a team rider, that's actually what you've got to see. You've got to say your bike's good. You can't get, you know, the PR bit says you've got to say the team's working well, the tyres are working well, that's what you've got sponsors for. But he does actually seem, in actual fact, happy at the minute.
He looks a much tighter package than he did earlier in the season. He took that early win in the opening round at France. He's now alongside Leon Haslam on the inside. Is this going to be the move? Is this the lap when Kiyonari goes ahead? No, it isn't. But he's showing his front wheel. They will be almost looking at each other there. Haslam knows that he's got a real tough fight on him.
Yeah, Kiyonari's basically just baiting Haslam, trying to push him into a mistake. That's exactly what I'd do in his situation. But to be fair, Haslam's not a man who panics. For all he's only 22, he's had a lot of experience. It doesn't crash a lot, and he's not going to be fazed by that.
Lavilla then still with the close attentions of Jonathan Rea, number 65. Gregorio Lavilla riding his own race in a 16-point position. He's done nothing at all to eat it. We have a red flag. We have a red flag. There's an incident and a race stoppage. So your guess is as good as mine. At the moment, there is an incident somewhere round the circuit which has necessitated the race to be stopped and a red flag to come out. Now, James, 11 laps gone. Where does that leave us statistically?
I think that's got to be a two-parter.
And by that, James, means that we will have a restart. The rules basically say that if the race has gone 2/3 distance.
Yeah, if it's less than a third, it's a complete restart, and that just counts as a race. If it's between a third and 2/3, it's got to be a two-parter. If it's more than 2/3, it can be called a result, as I understand it.
Nothing more frustrating for someone like Leon Haslam, who was out in the lead, certainly not comfortably in the lead, but they were having a dogfight second to none, those two riders. Only for the red flag to come out. We are still in the dark as to the incident, but clearly somewhere around the circuit there is an incident, and we think it could well be out at the S's.
And that's Haslam shaking his head. He knows he was in a good position to win that race, and now he's got to go out and do it all again.
What does he have to do? Because the new rules under BSB state that a restart is a fresh race. It is, you basically forget what you've seen so far, we start all over again.
Ah, yeah, that's a new rule, sorry, yes it is, and that's so all the work he's done is for nothing.
That will be a bitter disappointment. So what we will effectively have, and we'll wait for that to be confirmed, is a short, sharp sprint restart, and everybody here will of course be thinking, change tyres on, let's get things sorted, being mindful of the fact it's going to be a short sprint, James.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that counts from the first race is actually where you end up on the grid for the second part.
So a red flag ending race 2 because of the crash between Rizla Suzuki's James Haydon and Dean Thomas on the Hawk Kawasaki. Both taken to hospital. And race 2 was then reduced to an 8-lap sprint. To James and Barry.
Thank you, Angus. Well, forget everything you've seen before sitting at home. This is now an 8-lap fresh race sprint, and the result is the result at the end of this, and it's going to be a short, sharp dash. James, it's going to be over in less than 9 minutes.
Yeah, it is. It's a short race. They've all got the soft new tyres on, and the most important thing in this race, Barry, is getting the start. If you fluff the start, you've no chance to make it right.
Well, that man in the middle, number 91, Leon Haslam, who led for, well, all the way through until the stoppage, knows full well that he has to slingshot that Airwaves Ducati away down the straight and get to the first bend, Riches, first. And number 4, that's
Sean Emmett.
Sean Emmett starting from pit lane. The revs are rising. I'm watching Haslam on the far side of the grid, and the HM Plant Honda had a good start. Can Haslam, though, hook it up through the gears? No, indeed. Ryuichi Kiyonari, Haslam's in third because Lavilla has grabbed second. The young Japanese, it's so close through there. up to the next right-hander. It's Sears, round Sears, and now away down the straight, so Haslam has been shuffled back to fourth by Jonathan Rea.
Yeah, he clipped the curve at Ritchie's and then had to run a little bit wide, and Jonathan Rea got him. That's a terrible start for Haslam. It's exactly the opposite of what he did want.
Certainly didn't want that. Well, I hope he doesn't throw caution to the wind and mix it too much with his teammate. In third,
somebody's gone straight
Haslam,
on.
Somebody went straight on at the S's. We haven't seen the outcome of that, but certainly the front runners are going well. Oh, there it is.
One of the Hydrex boys.
It is one of the Hydrex. That's
Mason.
That's Mason. Mason wearing a different crash helmet. His crash helmet, the yellow one, was damaged in the first crash in race 1. And Ryuichi Kiyonari with Gregorio Lavilla behind him. Then it's Leon Haslam. What does Leon Haslam have to do to get the win here?
Well, this is what I said. He couldn't afford to make a bad start, and he's made a bad start, and he's riding so hard to try and get back on terms with both his teammate Lavilla and Kiyonari in the lead.
The Stobart Hondas are line astern. They are in 5th and 6th. Jonathan Rea in the equation there, but he's not in camera shot at the moment. Lavilla riding better this time. He's being dragged along by the Honda. And
would you believe a man who was struggling to stay in third in the first race, Lavilla, looks like he's got a good chance of winning this race. That's exactly what this stoppage has done.
Unbelievable. An 8-lap dash, I remind you. We are on lap 2 of 8. It's a short... Oh,
Lavilla's off!
Greg Lavilla!
And he's going back across the track. His teammates missed him.
So lucky! Gregorio Lavilla overcooked it at the S's. Back across and miraculously up and walking. He was nearly collected.
Incorrect grid position.
Nice teammate.
Elevated Haslam to second, but what a catastrophe for the Spaniard.
Yeah, it's a catastrophe also for Haslam because he had to close the throttle, avoid both his teammate and his teammate's bike spinning around across the track. Lost it on the left at the end of the straight and then slid across the right at the S's.
Lavilla saying to the marshal, leave my arm alone, I've hurt it.
He lost it on the brakes going in. He lost a rear, and that's gone across the grass and then back across the track. And watch Haslam missing him. We can't just... That worked miracles missing his teammate and his teammate's bike.
Well, what an eventful day we've had here at Snetterton. Colin Wright, the Airways Ducati team boss, distraught there just watching that.
And that's looks like a red flag again. It looks like Kiyonari's got his hand up. They're all stopping.
Well, this is drama indeed. A totally eventful safety car out on the circuit. The flag, that flag indicating the safety car is out, so it is not a race stoppage. But Gregorio Lavilla, they're sitting on the wall. The leathers have taken some stick there on the left-hand shoulder.
And again, this has swung, the pendulum of fate has swung right back into Haslam's hands again, because he will be able to start after the pace car pulls off. He will be right. Oh, that's somebody. That's Jonathan Rea.
Well, the Red Bull Honda's down on the ground.
Back part of the circuit, Kiyonari just waiting his
So, how on earth did that happen? The Red Bull Honda of Jonathan Rea, who was running well up, he's been credited. Oh, there you can see. John Kirkham missing him as well.
And that's out of a left-hander. That's a right-hander, sorry. And that, I don't know, I would have said cold tyres, but it can't be.
This is utter chaos. There's the pace car. We have riders falling like flies here. Lavilla out, Jonathan Rea out, but the men at the front, the men now, and Haslam can see, albeit at the misfortune of his teammate and series leader, he can see a bag full of points here.
Yeah, he can, and Haslam now, he has to be right behind Kiyonari. When the pace car pulls out, the lights are out, which means at the end of this lap, the pace car will pull into the pits. They can't pass until they get to the start and finish straight. Haslam has a golden opportunity to try and get the drop on Kiyonari at this point.
Well, what have we said? You get to the midpoint of the season, anything can happen. Those words came from the mouth of Gregorio Lavilla himself when he said, I'm not even thinking about the championship. Look at Michael Rutter in the same position last year. Well, it just shows how things can get turned on their head. The pace car will be in this time as they come round Coram. The right-hander, Lavilla, out of the running, I remind you, so he will score 0 points in this. Number 91, Leon Haslam, in a 20-point position at the moment, but he wants the win. He does not want the HM Park Honda to get the win. The race is on, and Haslam did get the slingshot He kept the momentum going, but the Honda, James, punches so hard.
It is, the Honda definitely has a power advantage, but now it's down to Haslam. He's right with Kiyonari. This is exactly what he needed, having made the bad start. He couldn't have wanted for a better fate than that, albeit he didn't want to see his teammate crash, but he's right with Kiyonari now.
Number 33, Michael Laverty, Stobart Honda. You heard it from the lips of Paul Bird. They're underpowered. They're going to be left in the draft down this, the fastest part of the straight. 180 miles an hour plus at this point, and this is where Gregorio Lavilla got it wrong, necessitating the safety car. He went across the grass at the S's, miraculously and mercifully without serious injury. A little bit undignified, crashed in a big way, but more to the point, he won't score any points. Now Haslam on the back of Kiyonari. Haslam now knows this is the best chance he's got to go away with a win, his first win of the season, and 25 points.
It is, and Haslam's really after this. He's really up for this, you can tell just looking at it. And it looks like Paul Bird might get his wish. His man number 33, Michael Laverty, in third position with just 3 laps to go.
Ron Haslam and there Anne Haslam,
yeah.
That's the parents of the number 91 Airways Ducati rider. He's been coached all through his boyhood years by his father. Such a great legendary rider. Ron Haslam has gone down in history as one of the British greats. Tommy Hill in 4th place, Craig Coxall, number 41 on the Hawk Kawasaki in 5th. These 4 getting a little bit strung out, but the HM Plant Honda, number 2 of Kiyonari, so quick down there. Haslam has got to make a move and make it soon.
He has, and to me, I feel a little bit sorry for Haslam in that he is quicker around most of the corners. Kiyonari just seems to be able to coax that Honda out the corners a little bit quicker and get onto the straights. And at Snetterton, like I say, the straights are very long, so that matters.
2 and a bit laps to go. Haslam closes.
Right with him.
Corner speed is amazing. He's going to have to make a serious lunge up the inside. Don't quite know where that challenge is going to come, but you have to believe he's going to do it.
I think he'll have a go, Barry, I've got to tell you. I think he's right up for this. I think what happened in the first race, he'll feel cheated, and I think he'll stick his neck out a little bit.
Laverty then coming under pressure in 3rd from Tommy Hill, but we're looking at this fantastic scrap between these 2 youngsters, combined age of 44 years. It just is so staggering that they ride with such maturity, such speed and such verve at such a tender age.
And Tommy's fancying a bit of the rostrum here. That's him in 4th, behind Laverty in 3rd.
Well, the Yamaha is faster than the Stobart Honda. Remember, the Stobart Honda is running an old engine. They've had all sorts of engine blow-ups this weekend, and they've had to wheel a museum piece out of the back of the van and put in the number 33 Stobart Honda. Michael Rutter, the other Stobart Honda rider, is running in 6th behind Craig Coxall.
Remember, 1 lap left, and they're going to be starting the last lap at the end of this lap.
Well, then we've got to see fireworks from Haslam, unless he's not prepared to throw caution to the wind and settle for the 20 points. But of course, what this will also do, it will move Kiyonari up so close behind him. Within 2 points then, Kiyonari will be, if positions stay the way they are. They are on their last lap. Michael Rutter, number 3, out of the running.
Yeah, that's Rutter out. Looks like an engine block to me. But this is what I want to see. Is he close enough? Is Haslam close enough to Kiyonari to slipstream him down that long straight and do something about him on the last few corners?
Oh, look at the way the Honda just drags out of that bend. Haslam can see him disappearing away from him. He's going to have to be exceptionally brave on the brakes, the Airways Ducati rider, but I don't think he's close enough.
He's not close enough, but his mid-corner speed's a lot quicker. He's quicker through the bomb hole, he's quicker at Corrams, and he's been having a look every lap into the last chicane at Russell.
Well, 3, 4, 5 machine lengths, you can see it now. Round they go again. Haslam is so fast here, running just a touch wide, pushing those Dunlops to the limit. The Michelin-shod Honda ahead of him, the back end hanging out there at the chicane for the last time. He's not close enough. We know how the Honda punches, but it's 20 points for Leon Haslam, 25 for Ryuichi Kiyonari, no points for Greg Lavilla, 16 points then. Now, I'm not sure. Hill got the verdict. Tommy Hill is on the rostrum for Virgin Mobile Yamaha. Michael Laverty pushed back to 4th. Craig Coxall 5th. Number 68, Martin Privateer in 6th place. Scott Smart in 7th. There is your race leader, your race winner indeed, and what a terrific display that was.
And we're told that there was a lap record broken on the last lap, which you would have expected because remember they're on softer tyres. These tyres probably wouldn't have gone the full race distance of 22 laps.
Well, Leon Haslam pulling a wheelie. He's obviously pleased with second. He would have loved the win, but given the misfortune, Kiyonari 1:04.688 on lap 8. So the young Japanese is on fire. It's fair to say, James, he's back in business with a bang.
And in actual fact, Haslam's last lap was a 1:04.8, so they both were well under the old lap record on the last lap. That's fantastic. That's a second quicker than the existing lap record before this meeting.
Confirmation of the result, Kiyo's win from Haslam, Tommy Hill. Laverty rode so well on an underpowered Honda. Craig Coxall. Martin's result, well, that's nothing short of spectacular. Scott Smart and Richards. 8th place then for the Hydrex Honda man Richards. Kirkham stayed on the Suzuki this time for Rizzler. What a weekend they've had.
So a double for Kiyo, but double disappointment for Leon Haslam, and concern for James Haydon and Dean Thomas. These pictures from one of the fans here at Snetterton show you just how serious their crash was. We'll give you a medical bulletin when we come back. Kiyonari dominating here at Snetterton, benefiting most from that race restart. A maximum 50 points in the bag for him after a great weekend. Congratulations, 2 out of 2. Well done.
Thank you very much.
You must have been quite pleased that the race was red flagged so that you had another chance.
Yeah, very difficult. Red flag, safety car, but good tire because, you know, yeah, very good tire, good machine, yeah.
Before the race was stopped, did you think you could catch Leon?
Yeah, maybe possible. Maybe, not sure.
Maybe. We're not sure, but well done. You've had a great weekend.
Thank you very much.
Leon, are you disappointed with that? You're shaking your head as you went over the line the second time. You just thought it could have been your afternoon.
Yeah, the first part of the race, I knew once I got in front of Kiyo, I had the pace on the corners. And if he did come past on the straight, I could have another go straight back at him. And when I got that terrible start in that second part, I thought, oh no, I'm going to struggle to get on the podium at this rate. And I got up to second just behind Kiyo, and I knew I was going to struggle to get back past him. It was a similar story to the first race where he pulled just enough in the straightaway. It took me the rest of the corners to get it back, and he put a blistering lap on the last lap. I did one of my best, and he matched it. And but yeah, fair play to him. We knew it was going to be hard here, and to come away with 2 seconds and close the lead on Greg, it's been a good weekend.
That pace of the Honda, though, down the straight was probably just a bit too much, was it?
Yeah, it was pulling probably about 0.3, 0.4 just on the 2 straightaways, and it took me all I could to get it back. And in the first race, I managed to get past straight away. I thought, this is perfect. I'm just staying in front. It's all down to me, and he got red flagged. So I don't know what to do to win a race, but now I was happy enough. I rode hard, and I felt pretty confident.
You'll do it, Leon. The time will come. Good man. Thanks a lot. Tommy Hill, congratulations. Well done, mate.
I couldn't believe it. It's just a dream come true again, you know, from Silverstone getting the pole into Mallory. Not a good result in Mallory, but turning up here, it's mega, you know, it's mega for us, for Pirelli, for all the sponsors, to go on the podium. And
well, you've been in hospital this week.
That's right, yeah, I had a bit of food poisoning. I was in hospital for 3 days, but I'll probably have to get food poisoning a bit more often now. It seems to be bringing me a little bit of luck, but it's just a good weekend. Yeah, I've been sort of top 6 for most of the time, and it's a bit of a nightmare with the race getting stopped there, but made a move on Laverty through Coram, and I just wanted to get on the podium and do it for the team, do it for Pirelli, do it for all my sponsors, and just everyone that's stuck by us, really, because it's not gone to plan so far this season. But to get a third, it's you know, halfway up the ladder.